says I was charged for a class 4 treatment. So what is a class 4 exactly, I ask her, and she tells me that a class 4 is, she kind of dodges around the question saying, class 4 is just the level of treatment that you got. I'm like, but what was I billed for? I got the itemized bill in the mail, and again, it just says on here, emergency department level 4. Videotape this conversation where I ask her again to explain what that means to me, because it's eating me up why I have to pay $2,000 for it.
Thank you for calling Priceless Doctors Hospital Patient Account Services. Para continuar en español, diga español. Please hold while I transfer you to a customer.
She just said this phone call is being recorded for quality insurance. 4-3. I'm just letting you know that this phone call is being recorded for quality insurance. I'm trying to figure out what exactly I'm being billed for and why.
Okay.
Basically, I went in, I was having muscle spasms at the time, and I didn't actually get any treatment because my body worked itself out, so I told them, I don't need anything, I'm going to walk away. And I got this bill, and it's totaling to about $2,000. I'm trying to figure out why it's so high.
Okay. That's the emergency room level of care. Is going to be an automatic charge for the services that were rendered, and it looks like you had lab services.
I'm trying to figure out more about this department level 4 because it didn't explain to me what that means.
Okay, level of care 4 is level of care. There's 1 through 5. Okay, and it's determined by the American College of Emergency Physician guidelines for billing, meaning that whenever you have a service performed and within a emergency room environment, there's going to be a level of care warranted for that service. So the triage makes a determination, but services as well will determine what level of care is warranted. In this case, level of care 4 looks like it was warranted. I'm going to assume because of the lab. Let me see here.
Is level 4 a relatively high level, or is it a low
1
level?
through 5.
So 1 being the lowest and 5 being like the highest level of care?
Yes,
Okay. They told me that there wasn't really anything that they could do. So they diagnosed that what I told them was that at the time I was having a caffeine overdose and my muscles were spasming. I refused an IV. I didn't get any actual treatment out of it except for just, them checking my levels, which seems to be the standard routine.
Coming into a 24/7 available emergency room, there's overhead is going to be a little bit higher.
Right? Like it's a base price per level?
Yes. Yeah, the price of the level of care doesn't change. Well, it can change, but it's not like a standard price for it, if that's what you're asking. The insurance rate that they pay is based off the contract that they have with us.
Right.
So it's not really the cost that you're being tied into your patient responsibility. The cost that you owe is based off the contracted rate that your insurance has with the hospital.
Okay. So
And your policy that you have with your insurance.
see that you don't really know. But is it
The level of care for, again, I explained it to you.
Yeah.
The American College of Emergency Physician guidelines for billing of ER level.
You don't have any specifics for explaining level 4, just that it's set by the American College Association or whoever you said they were?
Like I said before, it is determined by the services that are performed and the diagnosis that you have. The services that you had, or you coming into the hospital and having 24/7, again, emergency room availability to you, there's going to be a level of care warranted for that service. I get submitted to have reviewed. I wasn't there. So they'll send off a letter to you to indicate where they came up with it or whether it needed to be changed.
All right, great. Sounds great. From my perspective as a patient, I walked out of it not receiving any treatment that made me better. It was all treatment based on performing a diagnosis which I already submitted.
You don't necessarily need to be better. You came in to have services rendered in 24/7 available emergency. So there's going to be charges associated with that.
I don't have any more questions at the moment.
Okay. Thank you for calling in.
Alright, thank you. It could just be the smartass in me, but it really seems like I was built based on what I was going in for, based on what I got out of it. And the guy even kind of just said it right there. He's like, you don't have to get better. It's just based on whatever we want to base it on. You can say it's treatment, but it's not treatment. I went in, I got nothing out of it. My body worked itself out. I made the mistake of going in if I wasn't really in the right state of mind to make the decision against it at the time. So